If you're a birder looking to record your sightings, whether it's a big day, a birdathon, or just your daily outings, Birdwatcher's Diary for iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch is the software you need. When you open the software, you'll see a list of birds, in this case the birds of the United States. We're going to start by selecting the location we're going birding. So down at the bottom, we'll tap on the existing location, which happens to be Stevens Creek, and pull up a list of the locations we've set up. Tap on P because we're going to Palo Alto, tap on Palo Alto Baylands, and we're ready to record. Up pops a mallard, so we tap on M to get to the M birds, tap on mallard, and we're done, ready to get our eyes back on the birds and off the screen of the iPhone. Screen is showing that we've recorded 1 out of 828 possible species so far. Now the mallard was easy because it came up on the first screen. How about a wren? Those are a little trickier for reasons you'll see. We tap on W to get down to the W birds, but now there's 80 birds between us and the wrens. In most software, we'd have to scroll through all those 80 birds. Birdwatcher's Diary, however, includes a unique feature called IntelliScroll, which switches from a one-letter alphabet down the right-hand side to a two-letter alphabet, featuring not just the two letters combinations for W's, but also for the letter before and the letter after, in case you missed the correct letter on the first screen, which is entirely possible. So now all that's left for you to do is to tap WR to get quickly down to the wrens, as we're doing here, and then tap house wren, and we're done. What about counting? Here come 1, 2, 3, 4 common mergansers. Well, let's just tap M to get to the M's, and then ME for merganser. And now just 4 quick taps. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we've recorded 4 common mergansers. What about an even larger group of birds, like this group of pelicans? We don't want to have to tap the screen 18 times to register these 18 pelicans, so let's see what we do. Well, we'll just tap P and then PE to get to the pelicans, then tap the pelican once, and now down in the lower right-hand corner, we tap the calculator button, and tap 1, 7, and then the plus button to add 17 more for 18 total. Here's something that seems to justify more than a simple tick, an Anna's hummingbird sitting on a nest. Let's make a record of it. As before, we'll tap H and then HU to get to the hummingbirds. Tap Anna's hummingbird to select that bird, and now we're going to tap the binoculars because we're going to add some details. Note that the software has already automatically recorded the date and time of the sighting and the latitude and longitude. We want to add some sighting notes. We could type in a note, but it's simpler to take advantage of the built-in list and just tap on, in this case, sitting on nest, to enter that note into our sighting. Tap on Show on Map, we can see where we saw that sighting. And then, if we want to share this sighting with our friends, tap on the Tweet button, for example. Software automatically created a map that could be shared with your friends and filled in the entire tweet, so you don't even need to write a single thing. Just hit the send button and you'll be tweeting all your Twitter followers. Same goes for your birding listserv, where your email message to your listserv will be automatically composed for you, complete with a map. Of course, you can add to that note if you want to. And of course, you can share the same information with your friends on Facebook, again, complete with a map and a pre-filled in status update. Hit save and your data is saved. Now we're done for the day and we want to save our sighting, so we go to the file screen, the archive screen, add in some notes about the trip, tap done in this case, and finally tap on archive sightings and the data are saved in your iPhone permanently. Because the data are saved in your iPhone, you can recall it as well. Go to the recall screen and there'll be tens or dozens or hundreds of your previous trips. Let's tap on one and recall it. The software has switched here to scene only mode, where it's only showing us the birds we saw that day, although we can switch back and forth in seconds as we wish. Now there's a new thing on this screen, the ear icon down by Pacific Slope Flycatcher, showing us that we only heard that particular bird. If we tap on that, we can see the heard only. Just like we did before, we can view a map of the individual sighting. But now that we have a lot of sightings, we can go to the location screen and pull up a map representing all of the sightings for this particular outing. So here we go, each pin representing a sighting or a hearing of a particular species. So here's a lazuli bunting, over there an ash-throated flycatcher, and down by the pond a Wilson's warbler. Now so far everything we've done has been for ourselves. How about getting the data out of the iPhone to the outside world? Let's go to the output screen, and here's the eBird screen where we can output the data directly to eBird. Note that the distance of our trip and the duration has been calculated. The observers, however, the software doesn't know that, so we're going to enter 2 here because there were 2 of us. We're going to select the Report Only as Present tab since we weren't counting on this trip, just ticking off species as we saw them. And finally, we'll tap the Email button, which will bring up an email already with a file which we will then upload to eBird once it arrives on our computer. There are other ways we can output the data. If we tap on Report, we can create a custom report. We can even select the particular items of information, the quantity, the name, the date, etc., that we want included in this report. We can also create a Google map so that we can share the kind of maps we've been looking at in this presentation so far permanently on the web with our friends or with the world, and email that, again, already formatted in the correct format for creating a Google map. Now you've seen how the software switched into this scene-only mode when we recalled some old sightings, and there's another very important use for that mode, and that's for when you're doing Christmas bird counts or summer breeding bird counts. Let's go back to our recall screen and recall an actual day. We'll actually use the date scroller to select a date back in December 2011, and we'll look at our various Christmas bird counts we participated in and recall one of those. And here you can see the results of that count. The key here is that after we've recorded a bunch of species on a Christmas bird count, most of what we see later in the day will be the same species. So instead of having to find a bird in a list of 829 species, here we only have 18 species, so now it's even easier to find a species to tick off. Let's say 2 Anna's hummingbirds suddenly pop up. Tick, tick, and we have them recorded. Another black phoebe, and there he goes. A towhee is not on the same screen, but 1 tick of the T, and the cow towhee is on the screen. If a harrier shows up that we haven't seen before today, no problem, just quickly tap All, then H, and then we can record the harrier. So the software really is ideal for counting birds during a Christmas bird count. Now so far we've been using the entire US bird list of 829 or 800 different species. But the software allows you to load any kind of list into the software. State list, county list, country list, or even your own custom list. So here we see a whole bunch of lists from different states, different counties, and we can have a particular list designed for a Christmas bird count, which will be only the birds for a particular county during a particular season. Loading a list for a new state or country that isn't already in your iPhone is simplicity itself. We just go to the input screen, type the name of it, the state or country, like Hawaii in this case, tap download. It'll ask to make sure we're doing what we want to do, and there's our list of 303 species from Hawaii. When we come back home, just a quick trip back to the list screen and we can load back our own state or county list. There's another kind of list of interest to birders, and that's your year or life list. And there's a very flexible capability in Birdwatcher's diary to do that. You can create lists by date, by location, by county, state, or country, or even by notes. So in this case, let's just type in, say, California, and enter in a date from January 1st to the current date. So that's this year's list. Tap on Create List, and it's going to go through all our records and retrieve our list, which tells us we've had 1,132 sightings of 186 different species so far in the state of California, and here's the list. And of course all the details are there. So if we scroll through the list and we say, where did we see a Brandt's cormorant? Tap on that, and sure enough, there it was, date and time, and there's a map showing us exactly where the location was that we saw that Brandt's cormorant. Well, believe it or not, there's lots more to the software, and if you want to learn more, you can go to our website. You can actually read the full manual, and of course, to purchase a copy of the software, you can do that as well. Thanks for listening.